I love coaching. I love it because we talk about something important. Often when I coach someone, it is the most important issue in their entire life. And so we get to talk about something that has substance and importance and life-changing qualities to it. I love those conversations. And then my client comes to the conversation. I say, what do you want to work on today? And they say, I don't know. I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. Again? You're coming to the conversation again without a topic? I was excited to talk about the most important thing in your life, and you don't have a most important thing in your life, or you haven't thought this through? How frustrating. It drives me a little crazy. So how do you deal with that when your client comes to you without a topic? Again, perhaps. Well, let me give you 3 things that you can do to move that along. The first thing you can do, and you should do, is to bring it to their attention that they don't have a topic. My friend Chad Hall told me that one time when he was being coached and his coach called him and he said, what do you want to work on? And Chad said, I don't know. And the coach said, when you figure it out, call me back. And hung up. Well, that's pretty strong. But the point is that, everything's client-centered when you're coaching, except that the process of coaching isn't client-centered. They need to bring a topic. There needs to be an agreement up front that they will come to every coaching conversation prepared enough to have a topic, something to talk about, something to work on. And if you're not careful, if you treat your client maybe too kindly, too softly and say, well, let's stop and think about it. What are some of the things going on in your life? Then you're not really showing the value of coaching to your client. You're telling them that they can show up unprepared and it's really no big deal. You need to have at least some level of agreement up front. And if they know the agreement, but they're breaking the agreement, you need to call this to their attention. You're breaking our agreement. You are to come to the conversations with a topic. That's one way to deal with it. And I would say that's definitely a way that you should always, make sure we're up on the agreement. A second way you can do it is use a coaching prep sheet. Lots and lots of coaches do this. I always offer it to my clients. I find about half of them use it, half of them don't. And this client prep sheet just asks 3 or 4 simple questions. What have you done since our last conversation? What are some of the issues that are really standing out to you since our last conversation? What would you like to use our time together today to work on? And maybe a 4th question, what do you want to walk away with when we're done with our conversation today? Just to get their mind oriented. They can literally fill it out, or they could just look through the questions to help them process, what do I need to work on today before they even come to the session? And maybe they'll come to the session and still not be exactly sure, but they'll have done some work to process it. And so we can meet them there and help them figure out that last topic. The third thing you could do is you could pick the topic from a framework. So a coaching framework usually has a process, and it probably has 4 or 5 steps that they can take to get to a specific outcome, or it could have 4 or 5 truths about the outcome they're looking for. So I think of particularly a framework or a model. It depends on how we're thinking about this, like 5 dysfunctions of a team. So if I'm thinking about 5 dysfunctions of a team, the first dysfunction is there's a lack of trust among the team. So if this is what I'm working on with my client to have their team work better, I could just show them this framework of 5 dysfunctions and let them choose which of the dysfunctions it would be best to work on today. There's also a thing called the Leadership Challenge. It's a book, and that has 5 truths to it about leadership. And I could look at those 5 truths and say, which one of these do you want to work on today? I can create some kind of limited choice for them based on what we're trying to achieve in the coaching. So if your client is coming to a conversation with no topic, let me reframe that for you a little bit. It's your fault. It's your fault as the coach, because you're either not holding them to the agreement, you're not giving them some structure to figure out what their topic is or should be for the conversation, or you could give them a framework to work from, and that would really limit their options, so it's much easier for them to choose. Make sure your client has a topic when they come to the session. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of our great content.